Hey guys, this week I made 2 meals that we ate on for the entire week since it gave us a lot of leftovers. So I made pulled pork in the crock pot, and I also made a homemade shepherd's pie. Okay, so hope you enjoy. So Monday was Valentine's Day, so we did get takeout that day. And then on Tuesday I made a crock pot pulled pork. So first I'm adding some apple juice to the bottom of my crock pot before I put my pork loin in. I'm going to season it up with some salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, some au jus mix, some paprika, and also some Clubhouse Montreal chicken seasoning. So I'm going to massage that into the meat. Put it in my crock pot. Even if you got something left to lose, even if there is something left for you to prove. Adding a little bit more seasoning on the top, which is the au jus mix, as well as some of the Montreal chicken seasoning, and a little bit more of the apple juice. Set it on low for 8 hours. And my crock pot definitely needs a good cleaning. You'll hear him having some issues getting the time right. When 8:10 and then 7:50 and then 8:10 again. Bending all the rules. It gets colder, but I hate being cool. I can't be cool to you. I served the pulled pork with canned corn that I warmed on the stove with some butter and herbs, and then I also made a potato salad, and it was really good. The recipe for the potato salad will be in next week's video, so stay tuned. Wednesday night I made a homemade shepherd's pie. So I diced up my onions, sauteed them in the pan with some butter, and about a tablespoon of garlic, Once the onion was translucent, I added, I think that's about 2 pounds or 2.5 pounds of extra lean ground beef. I'm using my trusty, I guess you want to call it a meat grinder that I got from Amazon. It's really good. Just cooking that until it gets browned. Then I'm going to drain the grease. Once that's done, I'm going to be adding about 2.5 cups of frozen mixed veggies that I got from Walmart. So I'm adding in a pot roast seasoning packet. I didn't have one of the shepherd's pie seasoning packets. So I'm just mixing that in, getting it all incorporated. I noticed it was a little bit soupy. I might have added a bit too much water. So I added probably about 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour in, and it already started to thicken it up, which was perfect. I wanted a bit of a smoky flavor, so I added a little bit of barbecue sauce. That's the bullseye chicken and rib. So I'm adding that to my greased 9x13 glass casserole dish, just pressing it into the bottom. Now you're going to see me cheat here. This evening I didn't really feel like making my own mashed potatoes, and these mashed potatoes, the Idahoan brand, are so good. I actually tricked my husband. He thought that I made homemade mashed potatoes, which I usually do. This is an amazing shortcut if you're just not feeling up to it. So it's the roasted garlic and the butter and herb. So I boiled my water, put it at the bottom of the bowl. That's 4 cups of water, 2 cups for each package. And then you put it in the water, stir it up, make sure it's well incorporated, and you wait a minute and it starts soaking in the water, kind of rehydrating. I do add a little bit of extra butter, just a little bit, and a little bit of milk just to get it to a better consistency, which is a little bit more spreadable. So that's about maybe 2 tablespoons of butter and probably about 1/4 of a cup of milk. And you can see it just makes it a little bit fluffier and makes it taste a little bit more homemade. So after that's done, I put it on top of the meat mixture. I had to make a little bit more. As you can see, the edges didn't quite cover, and that's not acceptable in a shepherd's pie. After that's done, I'm putting on some cheese. So that's the Monterey Jack and cheddar cheese, probably about 1/2 of a cup. Now when I made this, it was just a little bit before dinner, so I let it get to room temperature, put it in the fridge for a little bit just to kind of firm up. And then when it was ready to cook, I cooked it at 350 for about 30-35 minutes until everything was warm and the cheese was melted on top. And then I also put it on broil for about a minute just to get the top a bit crispy. And it was a huge hit. On Thursday night, I made some homemade pizzas, really quick and easy. I just used some whole wheat large pitas. I just put some pizza sauce on there with some mozzarella cheese, some pepperoni. I put some Italian seasoning on top, and I baked it at 400 for about 10 minutes, and then I broiled it for about a minute to get it a little bit kind of bubbly and crispy on top. My kids thoroughly enjoyed this pizza. It was really good. This week I also made a dessert. I made the 3-ingredient Oreo Fudge from TikTok. You need 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 package, which is about 1 cup of white chocolate chip, and you need 16 crushed Oreos for the filling, and then an extra 4 to crumble on top. So you're going to mix the sweetened condensed milk and the white chocolate chips on the stovetop on a medium-low heat. You want to make sure to stir this constantly so that it doesn't burn. You're going to wait until it all incorporates and melts, until it's nice and smooth. Then you're going to pour it into the bowl of the crushed Oreos. You're going to mix that all together, and you're going to place it in your lined and sprayed. You're supposed to use a brownie pan, like a 8-inch square, but I didn't have one, so I just used a round cake pan. I made sure to spray it. So I laid down some parchment paper and I sprayed that, and then I placed the fudge on top of that. I crushed up 4 additional Oreos to put on top, and I made sure to press it down into the fudge so that it sets together. And then you want to put this in the fridge. The video said 2 hours, but when I checked at the 2-hour mark, it was still not fully set. So I put it in the fridge again for an additional 2 hours, and it was incredible. I did, in the recipe you'll see, I added a bit of salt, and that was definitely necessary. It would have been way too sweet without it. This fudge was incredible. We all loved it, and it was so easy to make. So those were the meals that I made this week. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope that these 2 meal ideas kind of give you motivation to cook more for your family, and we'll see you in our next video.
Thank you for watching my video.